Okay. So again, I'm going to talk about type here. Again, I'm using the type tool right here. You can change the font before you start if you want. Again, I downloaded, oh, this one, my boyfriend's handwriting. Isn't that cool? Now, when you're looking at the fonts in the character window, if you don't see the character window, it's under Window, Type, Character. That's how you bring the character window up if you do not see it. In the character window right here, if you click on the font right here, the first one there, you'll notice that there's a variety of different fonts already installed on your computer. You can see the TT or True Type fonts by looking at the TT, and then you see a big O. Again, that's Open Type. So the Open Type has advantages. And in addition, there's a whole type kit now from Adobe that you can connect to, and I don't want to talk about that right now, but we will get into that later in the next lesson. So again, I downloaded a couple. Ooh, there's my flesh wound. That was a good one. I really wanted to go over where's my boyfriend's handwriting. There we go. So again, you can use letters as a design tool. So if I wanted to, I could use my letter O here. Okay, use my letter O. So I'm going to make just a little smiley face using letters. I'm going to duplicate this one, and then I'm going to use a 0. Oh, no, not a 0. What would be a better O? I guess we don't really have O's, do we? How about if we do a round bracket and then another round bracket? Here we go. So I want you to use the letters as a design kind of element. I'm trying to make a face here. This font is probably not the best font for that. Okay, so I got somewhat of a little face here. What could we use for a nose? A V? How do a V that is rotated? Scaled and then rotated. There we go. Isn't that cute? Already quite cute. How about a mouth? What could we use for a mouth? Are you? Or it could be a frown. Is that cute or what? Maybe we can have some little eyeballs in there. A little period for an eyeball. Duplicate that. Wow, that's even cuter. So make something, and then I'll talk a little bit about how to add gradients and how to change your font and things like that, because adding gradients to a font is kind of not difficult, but it takes a couple steps. So make something out of letters if you want. You can, I showed you several samples that you can go about doing. So make something quickly, and then I'll show you how to use a gradient. There's a lot of really cool examples you can find online of people with typography. I like the Jimi Hendrix one. Oh, there's the what was that crazy song? Remember that song? Yeah. That was a big hit 2 years ago, wasn't it, or something like that? Okay. So again, I have some letters here. I'm going to select them all by using the Command A on the keyboard. Now you can cheat if you wanted to and convert the letters to objects, and then you can fill it with a gradient. That's one way. But again, if you look at what I do here, if I select the letters and they're still letters, I haven't converted them to objects yet, If I click on the gradient option over here, oh, am I recording? I think I'm recording, yeah, okay. If I click on the gradient option right here, it's not going to work. You're like, why? Okay, well, one of the things we haven't done yet is we haven't looked at the appearance window. So the appearance window is a very important window inside of Illustrator. And the appearance window is the ability to add new things to an object. Well, in this case, we want to add a gradient to the text. So it's like taking something and putting it over top of something else. You can do that in the appearance window. So right now, since I cannot have a gradient in my letters like this, what I can do is I can go to the appearance window, and if you don't see appearance, again, it's under window appearance. It's kind of towards the top. If you open up the appearance window, at the bottom here you will have add new stroke, add new fill, and add a special effect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new fill, okay, and what it does is it puts a fill inside the appearance window. So this fill is a new fill that I put over top of the letters. And then I can actually choose a gradient now. I can click on the gradient tool, and the gradient will then be applied to the letter. So it's like you're taking a gradient and putting it over top of the letters. Again, I'm using the appearance window to do that, and the option is new fill right here. Then once you apply the new fill there, you can actually use the gradient window here, the gradient tool, and drag a line across them and change it. Or of course you can adjust your gradient. You can make colors. It's just, you can use the gradient window. Remember, we used the gradient window before. You can add some color to that if you want. You can add some, there we go. And you can use your gradient window and your gradient tools. There we go. Isn't that cool or what? In addition, you can, in the appearance window, you can, change things. Right now we have appearance. I don't know why it's not letting me change it now. Oh, I don't have them all selected, maybe. There we go. Oh, it's because it's mixed appearances. I don't know, but you get the idea. You can apply a fill, as you can see here, a fill over top of your letters to give you effects. In addition, you can apply things like textures if you want. Remember we did the textures with the fruit? So you can add that. And again, this is going to go over top of the letters. Oh, it's going to crash. There you go. So I added pointillize and letters. Look at that. Is that a cool effect or what? So I added the pointillize effect and a gradient. So all those using the appearance window. Much easier than trying to draw something like that, right? Okay, so I'm going to talk a couple more effects, and those effects are going to be these ones over here. Where are they at? No, not envelope. Where do I want? I want the effects. We want the effects of the transform. No. Where did they go? They had a whole bunch of effects here. Maybe the type tool needs to be selected. Nope. I guess they got rid of them. I don't know. I'm looking for the text warping. They have a warp make with mesh. No. Make with warp. Oh, there it is. It's called make with warp. So again, select your letters. So I'm gonna type in some letters on the screen, And up here in the very top corner right here is one called Make with Warp. Not with mesh. I want Make with Warp. So in the warp options, you can hit the preview. You can see what it does. So if you want text to go kind of on an arc, you got arc. You have lower arc. You have upper arc. You have arch. Bulge. Lower shell. Bulge. Of course, we want the fish one because we're making fish, right? Walleye, walleye, walleye. So again, you can adjust the way it warps it. That looks pretty good. There's a fish look right there. So again, it's called warp. It's underneath here. When you're done, again, you hit preview. When you're done, you can hit OK, and you can see, hey, it's in the shape of a fish. Maybe you duplicate that. You have two of them, and you put a color on one. There we go. Nope, that didn't work. Why don't I get no color on here? It's just giving me black and white. No color. No color. No color here. Won't let me color. Well, if it's not letting me color, maybe we can just use our appearance window. Add our fill. There we go. There we go. Walleye. So again, all I did was duplicate the letters. So you can get some nice typography effects just by duplicating letters like this. You know, before we had drop shadows, this is what we used to do. We used to just make two pieces of text and put them next to each other like that. Again, you can do things like blur them if you want. Here we go. We can blur it. Hey, it looks like a drop shadow, doesn't it? Look at that. You can put a stroke around. Try your stroke again. You can even add a gradient to a stroke if you wanted to. I like the green. And it goes well with the orange. So if you zoom in, you can see what I got. Again, I was using the warp. Okay. There's also another one that's in there if you want to make your own shape instead of doing the warp. What's another fish you like? Not salmon. Tuna? Who likes tuna? Again, you can another way of adjusting your text is to use the not necessarily the warp, but there's one called Make with Mesh. Make with Mesh. And what the Make with Mesh is where, and I'm going to do a little bit more than 4. I'm going to go 6 and 6. What that's doing is it's going to put a grid over top of your letters, and then you can adjust them according to, oh, that might be too many. Yeah, let's go back to 4 and 4. It's going to be easier. So what it does is it puts a grid over, and you can use your arrow tool. Well, that does all of them. You can use your direct selection tool to select the points and morph your letters into whatever shape you want. See that? Again, it's called mesh. It's a way of adjusting your letters. You can do any object, actually, any object. The one that I use for this, again, was when I select my object, it's called Make with Mesh. Oops, where is it? Select it. Oh, it's already been applied. I'll do it again. So you can do that with any object. You put on some text. Text is not good. Put on some text, not tuna. What do we want? What's a different kind? What's another fish? Tuna, walleye. What? Trout? T-R-O-U-T. Trout. Maybe I choose my cool fonts that I downloaded. Didn't I download a cool font? I wanted to do, oh, what was it? Bloody something? Flesh wound. There we go. I got a flesh wound trout. There we go. Boy, this could be a tattoo. Again, the one that I'm going to use is called Make with Mesh, right here. Make with Mesh. And I don't know why it's not showing up. You might need to say Make with Warp first. And then let's see, Make with Mesh. It shows up the mesh envelope. You hit OK. It puts a grid over top. And you can then use the white or direct selection tool, select the points, and move them around to adjust your characters. Is that cool or what? And you can do this with any type of object. And in addition, the advantage of using that, it still sees them as letters, I believe. I think you could still use the type tool over top of it. Let me see. Can I retype this? No. Double click on it. Oh, there we go. Thank you. And so we don't like trout. We like salmon. 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 There we go. That's even better. And then, boy, try some of your appearance things that we did, right? In appearance, we applied a fill. No, I didn't want a stroke. Undo that. A fill. Let me get a color in there. Oh, that the object is a fill. I guess the inside is not. There we go. Look at that. Oh, and don't forget about your effects. You got some nice effects in there. What can we put? Artistic effects. Smudge stick. No, that's not very good. Palette knife. No. Rough pastel. No, that's ugly. Sponge. Ugly. Watercolor. Ugly. How about brush strokes? It's not working. Not working. Not working. No. Spray. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Ooh, it's going to crash. No. There we go. So a lot of different things you can do.